or not? Can they cut down a tree or not? And is a factory going to open up across the street from my house? So it is definitive, and it's constantly, it's constant, but it changes slowly over time because our cities change, our populations change, our need for land changes. So the mayor and the borough president and our city council member all play a tremendous role in zoning, and our city council member will be here later this evening. So electing people who have the same vision of you that you share of how our neighborhood and our city works is really important. And we're going to hear some really cool stories tonight about that. The Department of Buildings, if you've heard of them or seen them around, is responsible for how our buildings comply with these rules. Our area in the Northwest Bronx has 17 different zoning districts. We're not going to talk about all of those different kinds of zoning districts, but we are going to talk a little bit about the SNAD. Anyone know what that stands for? I've heard that. SNAD. Oh, David's pointing out a really good, he was the kid in class who cheated, right? The SNAD. It stands for Special Natural Area District. There are a few places in New York City who have this special designation that overlays the zoning. So it could be, residential, but then also part of it. Is this the map of the SNAD?
Yes.
Correct. There are two. Correct. There's a part. Sorry, there are
Where's
two.
the other one?
We have. So we're here in the Bronx, and we're in Staten Island. I know. I was going to say I thought there were three.
Fort Totten in Queens, Staten
there were
Island,
three.
and the Bronx.
Okay, so this is a picture of it, and I invite you afterwards to take a look. You can also look online on our website to see if you live in the SNAD and how that affects where you are. So it was designated in 2003 as part of if you've heard of the 197A zoning plan. Our community board adopted it, and a large portion of the Riverdale neighborhood is part of this special natural area district with the goal of, in addition to preserving sort of how the land is being used, preserving the special natural characteristics of us in the Northwest Bronx. So what are we protecting? Mature trees, different kinds of topographies, slopes, rock outcroppings, erratic boulders. Be a band name, wetlands and water features, botanic environments, and preserving this kind of space in New York City helps us respond over time to things like the climate crisis, and also holding on to these kinds of special areas helps us when we think about the dire need for additional housing and affordable housing, and how we use land that supports other uses in the city, and how our green spaces help support the people and healthy development. So the Nature Preservancy are the stewards of informed development in this area. And the SNAD, I mentioned before, the tool that we use to affect our work, the SNAD is one of those tools. And our SNAD in Riverdale is a green belt. So I have seen bald eagles, owls, snakes, and all sorts of other interesting things in our SNAD. And it provides space for pollinators and insects, and delivers a healthier existence for everyone. So, as citizens, what can we do to protect our SNAD? Well, the first thing we can do is make sure that people know about it, which is why the Nature Preservancy started the Special Natural Area District Awareness Campaign. So if anybody would like to leave here tonight with their own lawn sign, if you've seen them around town, if you live in the SNAD or have friends who live in the SNAD, you can take a lawn sign, and if we run out, make a note on the sign-in sheet and we will deliver one to your home. Because the first thing we need to do is make sure everyone around us is aware of it, so when they are affecting mature trees, they're aware of what happens. So talk to your neighbors, your friends, real estate agents, if you have friends who are real estate agents, so that when they're selling houses, they know what's in the SNAD. And if you observe something illegal going on, so the cutting down of a tree within the SNAD, take pictures without trespassing. Note the company doing the work, call 311, call Community Board 8, call our council member, and call us, the Riverdale Nature Preservancy, Our email is very easy. It's riverdale-nature-preservancy@gmail.com, or just find it on the website and let us know, and we can help you make the rest of these phone calls. I will say that, and we can mention this again, Councilmember Eric Dinowitz has a bill that it's very funny. If you see a tree being cut down and you take a picture, your photograph is not counted as evidence in the 311 system today. It's like they don't accept photos. So there's a bill, which is almost like it's a correction, that he's championing, that we're trying to help get through, that will allow the photographs of the fact that the tree is coming down, to help. And please, we're asking you to get involved in long-term planning. So attending CBA, which is our local community board land use meetings and general meetings, write op-eds. People read the Riverdale Press, write about how important this is to you, and if you see something, and keep in touch with us and participate in our initiatives. And without further ado, I am going to introduce the first of our guests this evening. Christina Taylor is the Deputy Director of the Van Cortlandt Park Alliance, and they have done some incredible work with something called daylighting Tibbetts Brook. There was nature here before we all got here and turned Riverdale and the Bronx into the Bronx, and the Tibbetts Brook is one of those, and she's going to give us an update on what's going on. Thank you.